Hello, this is Bob Gray Sr. coming to you from Hawaii. No, I'm not. I just learned how to do those motion thing videos behind me. I only got two good ones at work. So anyway, this is Ministry Moments. Glad you joined us every Friday, 3 o'clock Central Time, Ministry Moments. And go to Ministry Moments YouTube and subscribe. Bob Gray Sr., Ministry Moments YouTube, and subscribe. This way you'll get it every Friday from Hawaii, no, from Texas, and 3 o'clock Central Time, Texas time. And today in Ministry Moments, I want to talk to you about pulpiteering. Pulpiteering. I've been blessed to preach with some of the best, and have them preach for me. Tremendous pulpiteers, walk with God, and just the ability to be able to deliver in the pulpit is just an amazing, amazing thing. And I want to give you some thoughts today that maybe might be of help to you in this matter of pulpiteering. Are you ready, boys and girls? Here we go. Number one, talking about pulpiteering now. Think about the people before you preach to the people. Think about the people before you preach to the people. Now, the sermon should have been brought out because of need. And you counsel with the people, you talk with the people, you carry their burdens, you try to give them counsel and good counsel. And then what happens is you read the Bible every morning, then the need is answered. The Holy Spirit reaches out, grabs you and shakes you and says, here's the answer. That's why I believe in getting a sermon thought every day. I interact with people all the time. I don't pastor. I don't have church members, but I have pastors who constantly call and talk to me, and I'm glad. I've been saved 64 years. I should have learned something by now. But then every morning when I read the Bible, God gives me an answer and a sermon thought. And so I try to use that to try to help them. So these sermons are created out of need. The people are in need. They have problems, they have burdens, they need answers. And you counsel with them, you talk with them, you do your best. And sometimes in the middle of it, the Holy Spirit will give you something that you could give to them. And if you're smart, you'll write it down. That wasn't you. It was the Holy Spirit that gave you the answer. I've had them leave sometimes and say, Pastor, you sure are wise beyond your years. And I'm thinking, no, not me. Now, while we were talking, the Holy Spirit resurrected scriptures and gave me thoughts. So number one, talking about pulpiteering now. Getting behind that pulpit. I'm not talking about preaching. I'm talking about pulpiteering. All right. Number two, do not think of the congregation as adversarial. Don't do it. Now, if you've got somebody that's causing you a problem, ignore them. Ignore them. Because you've got 99% of the people out there pulling for you. You may have one or two rascals, but don't waste everybody else's time by focusing on them. And preventative pulpiteering is much better than curative pulpiteering. That's why sometimes all of a sudden we find out people find they have cancer, and then they run to these alternative. What's too late then? The alternative should have been used first, and then have a regimen. I take over-the-counter medic pills and all kinds of pills every day. And this COVID thing running rampant, I try to do that, but the truth of the matter is, once you get it, the best thing in the world, preventative is always better than curative. So don't think of the congregation as being adversarial. Okay, number three, this is a team you pastor. This is a team you pastor. We have victories, we have defeats. We have a 0-0 tie, like kissing your sister, but this is a team. And so you pastor a team. This is a family, but it's also a team. These are soldiers who are fighting the spiritual warfare, fighting a fight. And you've got to keep the troops inspired. You've got to keep the team inspired. You've got to keep the family united. And become a team. This is a team. This is a team. So I said, number one, think about the people before you preach to the people. When you get ready, you're sitting there and you get ready to preach. Think about them. Brother House would scan the auditorium and think about different stories of different people and what they've been through. And it would warm his heart. So do that. I want you to think about the people before you pulpiteer, before you preach to them. Number two, do not think of the congregation as adversarial. Don't ever go to that pulpit thinking, no, there are more people for you than against you. It may be a close vote, but it's still true. Number three, this is a team you pastor. Keep that in mind. This is a family. Yes, it's a family, but it's also a team. These are soldiers, and you're pastoring them. All right, number four, Satan is our opposition, not each other. You've got to remind yourself, Satan is our opposition, not each other. Oh, you may have a stinker out there, and those horns may be holding his halo up, but don't you focus on him, because the power behind the throne is that the prince and power of the air, and he's the one that's coming after you. Best thing to do is keep somebody else out of hell, get somebody inspired to go soul winning, get somebody inspired to serve God. And when you do that, then, and by the way, you might win somebody over. I had a man when I first came here, 1 year, after 1 year being here, he came up one day and he said, I think I can finally trust you. After a year, he watched me for a year. He said, I can trust you. One man, I led his mom to Christ, dad to Christ, both in heaven right now. And rascals, boy, they were rascals. And he came and hugged me and thanked me for sticking it out and so on. Now, think about the people before you preach to the people. Think about their needs. All right, number two, do not think of the congregation as adversarial. You may have one or two rascals out there, but don't let that become your sermon. Don't do that. You keep everybody else healthy. They'll take care of that crowd. I used to do this thing. I would say, everybody for the preacher, stand quick, stand quick. In the middle of a sermon, it had nothing to do with it. Stand up. Well, all the people who loved me immediately stood up, but there were some who slouched down and looked around. But I did that on purpose. I wanted them to know I got more for me than you got for you, and you're going to lose this battle. And then they would finally crawl up and stand for me. And I would tell the people, you look around, see who doesn't jump up right away, buddy. You understand, we got more for us than they got for them. Anyway, Satan is of course, I was a young and a troublemaker, but Satan's our opposition, not each other. Number five, let you have it before you let them have it. Let you have it before you let them have it. If you don't have anybody baptized on Sunday, look in the mirror and get mad at yourself. If I had people lined up, I brought them, they were there, they were ready to walk that out. Oh man, I could preach up a storm. And if preachers would let you look in the mirror and let you have it, don't get mad at them, get mad at yourself. You're the one that had the opportunity to get somebody down the aisle and you didn't do it. That's your fault, not their fault. Oh, this is so important. Let you have it before you let them have it. Number six, if you can't get them to laugh, you can't get to them. You can't get them to laugh, you can't get to them. B.R. Lake, I was with him at First Baptist Crete, Illinois, preaching together, and I loved him. What a great sense of humor he had. And he's the one who said to me, son, you better put some orange juice in that castor oil. And he was a humorist, a Mark Twain personality, and what a great preacher on heaven and the thing and Christ. And he could just paint a picture with words. Amazing. But here's what I learned. If you can't get them to laugh, you can't get to them. Number seven, learn to laugh at yourself. Brother Howes would talk about that one hair. He weaves it all over the top of his head. He would have fun with it. He came home one Wednesday and said he had a nasal drip. And he said, folks, I found a cure for nasal drip. And he dipped underneath the pulpit, came up and had a suction thing right here with a spigot on it. And people just laughed. You have to learn to laugh at yourself. He made fun of his hiatal hernia and this cough that he had. Now learn to laugh at yourself. You've got to. You have to. If you don't, if you can't get them to laugh, you can't get to them, and you are the biggest. And I love it. When I make a mistake, I said, you liked that, didn't you? You liked it. I made a mistake. We'd all laugh together about it. All right, we're talking about pulpiteering now. Pulpiteering. Number one, think about the people before you preach to the people. Number two, do not think of the congregation as adversarial. You may have one or two, even 10 knuckleheads, but don't do that. Number three, this is a team you pastor. this is a team, you pastor. I know it's a family. I understand that. But it's also a team, a soul winning team, a Sunday school team. It's so important to remind yourself, I've got to keep the team spirit up. Next, Satan is our opposition, not each other. Don't let somebody who's written you a bad note and figure people out. Who can figure people out? This is an adventure, this pastoring thing, isn't it? And it's an adventure. So Satan is our opposition, not each other. One lady wrote a note one time, I think I've already mentioned it. She said, this is the last tie check you'll ever get from us. And they could have left. I have no idea why. Never told me why. So it's just the way that it is. It's going to happen. The keys are going to be thrown in your desk. The Sunday school roll is going to be thrown in your desk, and you're just going to be left sitting there wondering why. Don't create an adversarial position. Now, preach the truth. Now, if they happen to get in the way when you're preaching the truth, that's their fault, not your fault. But don't you on purpose do it. Let them have it before you let you have it before you let them have it. Number 6, if you can't get them to laugh, you can't get to them. Next, learn to laugh at yourself. Number 8, last point. Aren't you proud of me? Number 8, if you do not use the Bible, you are not preaching the Bible. I'm talking about pulpiteering now. Let me say again, if you do not use the Bible, you're not preaching the Bible. I know you've got illustrations, but you better preach the Bible. I know you've got examples, but you better preach the Bible. You better hammer that nail and hammer that nail, Bible truth, hammer it, hammer it, hammer it till it finally sticks. You better do that. It's imperative that you do that. So if you do not use the Bible, you're not preaching the Bible. Talk about pulpiteering now. 1, think about the people before you preach to the people. Number 2, do not think of the congregation as adversarial. Number 3, this is a team, you pastor. Number 4, Satan is our opposition, not each other. Number 5, let you have it before you let them have it. Number 6, if you can't get them to laugh, you can't get to them. So you just better get a joke book, a clean one this time. Get a good joke book. Number 7, learn to laugh at yourself. They'll love that. Then number 8, if you do not use the Bible, you are not preaching the Bible. Well, ministry moments. Guess what, boys and girls? Tomorrow is soul winning time. I call it the preparation day for the Lord's Day. And so when souls, go by and check on your Converse, have at least 5 lined up that you will pick up Sunday morning. And don't forget, church starts in Sunday school. Church doesn't start at preaching hour. Church starts at 9:30, 9:45, 10 o'clock, whenever you have Sunday school. Got it? Okay. Great day coming up. Don't waste it. Preparation day. That's tomorrow, Saturday. God bless you. See you next Friday. And subscribe now. Ministry Moments YouTube. Bob Gray Sr., you subscribe. This way you'll get this every week right on time.